the way that I was receiving it was it kind of requires a certain level of nuance when someone challenges preconceived notions of what that archetype is supposed to be. So
Yeah.
it kind of gets into the Madonna whore complex, like that
Mm,
age old adage where you can either be a sexual female or you can be a mother and you can't be both. And one of them, it was, what was it? Our anniversary present. My husband got me this little statue, which I'm obsessed with. So it's the maiden, the mother, and the crone.
hmm.
And I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love it so much because it's kind of it's the evolution of what a woman's life cycle is, and
Hmm.
at the end, she still has part of that maiden in her. She still has, like, that little wildness, and she still has
For
that
sure.
sexuality, and we're not creating that division. You're allowed to be this complex individual that isn't, I guess, divided or fractured, and for some
Yeah.
reason, a lot of people want that fracture, is the way that I experience it.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, and also like something that came to mind as you were originally kind of posing the question is like, if you think about the ways that women have been glorified in kind of like us growing up, like if you think of the Playboy days, it's like women, like girl next door, like probably doesn't say too much, is like really beautiful and blonde and innocent looking, and it's like it's not really showcasing any of the depth of what it is to be the feminine. Like, where do you really see people talking about the brilliant nature of the magic that can come through a woman because she's so connected to the earth, because she's so connected to her sensing and her intuition? It's like what is glorified in culture is this is what woman looks like. And most of that is a totally disempowered embodiment, or maybe not even disempowered, but like there's not a lot of substance and depth and expansiveness that's really celebrated, you know,
Mhm,
is
mhm.
totally what I see. And imagining woman, like I feel like we're growing up when I was young, or even when I went to college, it's like there's this structure of how you move about life. Like you're a young girl who all young girls still want to be like the older girl and like grow up even and not experience their youth. I was definitely subject to that. And then you go to college and then you're supposed to get married and you're supposed to have kids and then you raise your kids and it's just like you're in this system that's just like this is what you do as a woman, and over our lifetime that shifted drastically where women were actually stepping. It felt like that was like a pendulum swing that was on this end. And then the pendulum swung the other way where women got very, very like almost aggressive into like being masculine,
Masculine,
you
mhm.
know, which I feel like was a necessary step to totally reclaim, you know, all of the power that had been all the ways that we'd been disempowered for so many years. And now it feels like it's shifting back where women are really recognizing the importance of feeling, you know, like there are elements of the feminine principle that is being, you know, intuitive and receptive and not in this energy of just like pushing so hard and like creating and like being in this machine. But it's like we're realizing how to come back more into some of that balance. And also with that balance, you're the full spectrum of the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Like, I feel like I act like the greatest ridiculous inner child with my husband constantly. Like, that part of me is so alive, and how dare I let that young, imaginative part of me die? There's
Mhm.
also a medicine woman in me who has been through an immense trauma and learned how to heal and alchemize it. And so I know with a gnosis so many things that have happened in my life and how I've worked my way through them and healed them. Does that make me an expert by book, that I'm a psychologist or I have a PhD in this or that or I studied with this person? No, but I have a lot of wisdom because I went through the school of life and I know exactly what worked for me. And to, you know, look at any person merely from image and to dismiss that there's any depth there, it's probably coming from a place of just like woundedness with the feminine. Like, I guarantee all of those people probably don't like women and probably have a lot of wounding with their mother. So it's interesting to see a beautiful woman, and all women are beautiful, but you know, a particular image of a woman who has a lot of depth, who has a lot to say, who has a lot of power, and to be like, I don't like that sense of power in the feminine because I hate the feminine, or, I feel like I don't feel safe with women who are powerful. So I have to, like, bring that down and contain it into a box. Like, it feels like that all comes from woundedness, but can be, I resonate too with just going through comments or things like that. Sometimes when people are just like absolutely cruel, and it feels really jarring to even understand, like, what is the purpose, you know?
Absolutely.